Good Friday evening to you. Glad to have you along here on WIAA TV. Winnebago Lutheran Academy and the campus of is the host of tonight's WIAA regional semifinal between the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings and they host the Pardeeville Bulldogs. Coming up here, the 9th-ranked division team in Division 4, WIAA, hosting the Bulldogs. Bulldogs 19-6 this season, 12-2, good for second-place finish in the Trailways West. If the Vikings win, they'll likely play the top two teams in the Trailways West division. The conference champs over in the Trailways West, as it seems it is most years, was Randolph this season. They're the 10th-ranked team in the state, but got the 2 seed, pinched that away from the Vikings in the seeding, not the meetings anymore. Now it's done by computer, as I'm sure you're well aware by this point in time. And Randolph given the 2 seed, WIAA just the 3 seed. So if they both teams would win, WIAA would head down to Randolph for tomorrow evening's game. Talk about that later on if the Vikings are able to take care of business tonight here against the Pardeeville Bulldogs. Vikings led by 3 of the top 4 players scoring-wise in the Flyweight Conference. That's Kira Shea, Lindsay Nell, and Abby Cole, the big 3 for them. It's really a case of a superstar and a very good supporting cast for Pardeeville. Jesselyn Ernst is the best player on the Bulldogs squad, averages 20.8 points per game, 12.4 rebounds per game this season, and is one of the premier players in this division when you look up and down the line. For the Vikings, they got to feel that they got to shut down Ernst, or at least make sure that whoever's number 2 tonight for the Bulldogs doesn't have a huge night against the Vikings. So it's Ernst at 20.8 points per game. Then comes Aubrey Moss. Now, she missed a large chunk of the season. She's only credited for playing 10 games. That's according to WISports.net. In those 10 games, though, sharpshooter averaged 10.5 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, and was tied for the team lead in assists in those 10 games. Josie Bouchard is the 3rd best player offensively, at least in terms of scoring, 8.2 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, and also tied for that team lead in assists with 3. Bronte Holberg rounds out what is a top 4 with 7.4 points per game. They're the only 4 players on the team that average more than 5 points per game. For the Vikes, they only have 3 players that average more than 5 points per game. That's Kira Shea, Lindsay Nell, and Abby Cole, aforementioned. 17.1 points per game for Shea, who has to be the Flyweight Conference Player of the Year. That's a debate for a different day, but as long as this looks like my last broadcast, I'll get on that soapbox. She averages 17.1 points per game, 3.2 rebounds per game, a couple of assists per game, and is also just shy of 3 steals per game. She does it all. She is an elite defender, one of the best in the entire state, and scores it at a very high rate for the Vikings. She led the Flyway in scoring this year. Lindsay Nell was not far behind her, 16.5 points per game for second in the Flyway Conference, 6.5 rebounds, had her in the top 10 in rebounds as well, averaged 3.1 assists per game. That was a team lead and top 5 in the Flyway Conference. And if she wasn't playing on the same team as Kira Shea, I think Lindsay Nell would have a very good case for being the Flyway Conference Player of the Year. The Vikings this season, 21-3. They're on an 8-game winning streak, averaging 63.5 points per game. On Friday, a week ago last Friday, 57-44, they knocked off St. Mary's Springs Academy on the road. That clinched a Flyway Conference championship, which they shared with Laconia, both teams going 11-1 and winning the head-to-head each on their own home floor. So the Vikings here at home have not lost yet this season. Their losses come on the road at Laconia, at Fox Valley Lutheran, and down at Kewaskum. 3 very good teams. The only loss in division coming to the number 6 ranked Laconia Spartans. The Vikings, if they're able to win tonight, able to win tomorrow, we're way ahead of ourselves now, but they would set up a potential sectional semifinal rubber match with the Spartans later on down the road. That would come up next week, Thursday. We have a lot of basketball to play between now and then to even have that be a possibility for the Vikings, but that's what their eyes are on. They have their eyes geared towards the Resch Center and trying to make a run towards state if they can. 5 minutes until tip. We'll have anthem and starters coming up in about 5.5 minutes. Jordan King with you this evening. Oh, so good to have you along for some WIAA playoff action. Regional semifinal coming at you next on WLA TV. Stay with us.
today's WIAA regional basketball game between the Pardeeville Bulldogs and the Vikings of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Pardeeville High School, and the WIAA require good sportsmanship at education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand, remove your hats, and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the playing of our national anthem. It's time to meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First, for the Bulldogs, a 5'6" junior, number 3, Aubrey Moss. A 6'1" senior, number 21, Jesse Ernst. A 5'11" senior, number 24, Josie Bouchard.
As you meet the starting lineups, or as we meet them here at the stadium for the Pardeeville Bulldogs, let's introduce you to the roster first for the Vikings. We'll meet their starters in just a second. But first, the 22-23 Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings.
Evelyn Davies, Faith Lutheran.
Anna Truman, St. John Silmara.
Leah Tyson, Faith Lutheran.
McKenna Conkey, Redeemer.
Abby Cole, Faith Lutheran.
Lindsay Nell, Redeemer. Avery Superdan, Faith Lutheran.
Siri Kuski, St. John Silmara. Audrey Schumacher, St. Paul's Mount Calvary.
Kira Shea, St. Paul's Mount Calvary.
There you go. Those are the starters for the that's the roster for the Vikings. We'll meet the starters in just a second. First for the Bulldogs, number 3 is a 5'6" junior. That's Aubrey Moss. Number 21 is the best player on the floor for the Bulldogs. That is their 6'1" senior leader, number 21, Jesse Ernst. Number 24 is Josie Bouchard. She's a 5'11" senior. Raylan Gunther is a 5'7" senior, whereas number 35, and then Anna Brenneman, 5'10" senior, closes out the starting lineup for Pardeeville. Number 3, Moss, 21, Ernst, 24, Bouchard, 23, Gunther, and 43 is Brenneman. Coach Joe Gunther, the head coach for the Bulldogs. For the Vikings, 5'4" senior, oh man, wish she was a freshman, Kira Shea, where's number 2. Number 5 is Lindsay Nell, a 6-foot junior, joined out there with fellow juniors, number 13, 5'5", Leah Tyson, 5'11", number 22, Abby Cole, and then the other seniors starting for the Vikings is number 10, Siri Kuski, she's 5'7". Huge height advantage for the Bulldogs tonight. 2 Shea, 5 Nell, 10 Kuski, 13 Tyson, 22 Cole. We're ready to roll here. There is the opening tip, and it is won, as you might expect, by the Bulldogs. This is going to be a case of a battle of different play styles and a battle of tempo. Here's Moss on the far side. Can the Vikings speed up the Pardeeville Bulldogs? That's going to be the question. Nice feed from Bouchard underneath to Ernst, and Ernst gets her first points of the night. Again, she is the danger person for the Bulldogs. And right away, Bouchard able to get her hand on a pass. It was collected by Kira Shea. The Vikings knew they were going to have to use pass fakes. That time Shea didn't use one, almost turned it over. 3-ball missed, and an offensive rebound to Abby Cole. Another offensive rebound tipped around, no. And the rebound on the far side cleared out by Gunther. So an early 2-0 lead for the Bulldogs as the Vikings' first trip comes up empty. Moss gets it here down to the corner, and they're going to run a lot of high-low stuff. Getting free there is Ernst, but it went off her hand. Little too hot that time from Bouchard. There's the seal, lob underneath, and Ernst just about had her second bucket of the night. There it is on the offensive rebound. She has 4. So the Vikings knew she was going to be the tough one to kind of the one you got to keep your eye on, and unsuccessful on the first 2 trips for the Vikings. Here's Abby Cole, high post, blocked from behind, fouled. That's Josie Bouchard's first foul as she hacked Abby Cole from behind. Abby got hammered on the first trip as well. No whistle that time, but heads to the free throw line here. First free throw for Abby rattles around, and the Vikings are on the board. And she'll have another shot here from the line. Shoots it at a 63% clip, which is not impressive, but here in this second half of the season, I'll tell you what, that average was a lot lower than it was earlier this season. And the Vikings able to get into their press for the first time today. Moss into the front court, poked away by Kira Shea. It goes out of bounds. Stays with Pardeeville, but that's what the Vikes want to do. Can they speed up the Bulldogs and force them into turnovers? That's going to be the question. Inbound will be Gunther on the side, looking to get it into Moss, trying to get free from Kira Shea. Into Bouchard, back out here to Gunther. She's working against Leah Tyson, and Shea's into a passing lane. Early steal for Kira Shea, up with the left hand, rattles around, good. Early steal for Shea. That is the recipe for success for the Vikings. We've seen what both these teams want to do. On one side, the Bulldogs. Here it goes again, into Ernst. Able to clear space. A little contact, no whistle. Rebound cleared from Kuski, wants to push it up ahead to Nell. This is what the Vikings want to do. Bounce pass to the corner. Shea wants a triple. Looks short, is short. Rebound, offensive. Leah Tyson down underneath to Abby Cole. Cole, left hook shot, no good. Ernst clears the rebound. Under 16 minutes to play in the first half, and we remained tied. Ernst got free. Abby Cole was a little late, and a foul on the reach-in from Siri Kuski. Vikings are going to want to double down on Ernst, obviously. Not telling you anything there that you wouldn't otherwise assume. Here goes Ernst, screens, now gets the ball out past the three-point line. She has not shot a 3 this season. There's a moving screen on Bouchard. That's number 2 on her. And we'll see if Coach Gunther has to go to the bench. He will. And bring in Alexis Bryan, who checks into the scorer's table, and she'll come in for Josie Bouchard, who picked up number 2. So Bouchard, one of the many 5'11" players. There's a ton of height even on the bench for Pardeeville. And you got to believe that's the recipe for them to continue to cycle through that height and potentially try to use some of the depth. Here's Shea down to the corner. 40% three-point shooter is Nell. She got it blocked by Moss. Good ball movement for the Vikings. And it ends up down with Kira Shea. Finishes first lead for the Vikes. That was beautiful after Abby Cole went and got the blocked shot. Here's Gunther, uses the screen, now has to deal with Shea. Near side Moss. Down to the corner, this is Bryan, guarded by Lindsay Nell. Tipped away into the backcourt. Gunther's going to get to it. No. Tyson gets to it first. Leah Tyson shuffles to Nell, and Nell scores. That's a huge play. Great hustle play by Leah Tyson. It's an 8-0 run for the Vikings, and they've doubled up the Pardeeville Bulldogs. Straight up and down was Abby Cole. Out of control, down the lane, and a turnover. Headed back the other way as Moss was just a touch out of control that time. Bronte Holberg into the game. She's a 5'8" freshman for the Bulldogs, and the Vikings, all the momentum right now, can they continue to parlay it into this lead? It's a 4-point lead as it sits. Good closeout that time, and good ball movement for the Vikings. Almost thrown away. Down to the corner once again. Shot fake there from Lindsey Nell. Floater down the lane, no good. Offensive rebound tipped around. Cleared out, no. Yes, now cleared. This time with Anna Brenneman. Vikings doing a nice job on the offensive glass despite the size disadvantage. And Kira Shea's into a passing lane again. She goes down right side, up with the right hand, and finishes. 6 points for Kira Shea. Full timeout, Coach Gunther. And the Vikings lead it 10-4, with 14:10 to play first half. That is the response that Coach Schroffnagel was looking for from his team. After it was a 4-0 start for Pardeeville, the Vikings turned up the pressure, and they're on a 10-0 run, forcing the timeout from Pardeeville. It's full. Back after this. Vikes lead by 6 on WIAA TV. Stay with us. Well, that is the start the Vikings were looking for after giving up a couple of easy buckets to Jesse Ernst. And, you know, I think tonight there's going to be some of that where, yeah, and that's just she's going to get hers. She's so difficult to stop, 6'1" senior. And I'll tell you what, a lot of times they lie on these. I don't know, man. She is every bit 6'1". And here's another steal for the Vikings in the backcourt out of the timeout. Not how Pardeeville wanted to come out of their own timeout. Ends up in the corner with Siri Kuski. Kuski with one dribble. Gets it out to the left wing. That's Lindsey Nell. Bounce pass past Abby Cole. And it's turned back over to the Bulldogs. First turnover for the Vikings. Not a live ball turnover, but not so sure a live ball turnover is going to be too detrimental. I don't know how much of a transition game Pardeeville wants to get into. Here's Moss trying to take it past Kira Shea. Offensive foul. Yeah, you could see that from this side of the floor as Shea was up on her. Coach Gunther doesn't like it, but I tell you what, I think that was a pretty good call as Moss extended that arm to clear out space. And there you go. That is the impact of Kira Shea on the defensive side of the floor. Vikings get it to Lindsey Nell in the corner. Skip pass over to a cutting Siri Kuski. Out top of the key, Shea. Bounces down from Nell to Abby Cole. Skip pass, left wing. Down to Leah Tyson. That's her spot, just inside the three-point line. Didn't look like it. Missed everything, but Abby Cole collects yet another offensive board. Shea over to Kuski. Down to the corner with Tyson. Shot fake there. Back out to Siri Kuski. Vikings trying to get the ball into the high post with Abby Cole. She now has it top of the key. Triple on the way. It was tipped, I think. Offensive rebound tipped from Kuski to Shea. Back out. Kira Shea queuing up a three. Left corner. This one misses. And Jesse Ernst collects the rebound. That's a jump ball. They're going to get a foul here. Phantom foul called on Lindsey Nell as she collected the rebound, tied it up, and was whistled for the foul. Second foul for the Vikings. And Josie Bouchard back into the game. So tell here from Coach Gunther how important it is to get her back onto the floor. Bulldogs break the press with Moss, but she has to pull it back out. No numbers. Kicks it over to Bouchard, guarded by Lindsey Nell. Vikings still in straight man. Here is a jumper in middle of the paint. No good. Box out by Ernst, but instead it's Lindsey Nell helping Abby Cole out with the board. 12:45 to play first half. Here's Kira Shea. Look down to Leah Tyson. Bounce pass is a dangerous one. Almost thrown away. That is thrown away back to the Vikings. Left wing. Shot fake there. Lindsey Nell kicks it down. Corner. This is a jumper. No good. Tipped out by Moss. Stays with the Vikings. Underneath inbounds for WLA. I don't think Coach Gunther liked that one. And I know the Pardeeville fans didn't like that one. Here is Shea. Down the lane, floater up, floater good. Kira Shea, she's got 8. Huge start for her so far tonight. She's got 8 of the 12 for the Vikings. Moss this time gets on the front side of Shea, but no, didn't want to press it down the lane. Far side, This is Brenneman. And she's going to dribble near side. That's tipped by Siri Kuski. The Vikings have had a lot of deflections here early. This is Gunther. Swings it back around. Brenneman looks underneath, finds Bouchard, turns, shoots, no good. Abby Cole, good box out. Able to get some positioning there on Ernst. Nell lobs it to Cole, lobs it to the corner. Shea, a little more hesitant to shoot the three. She's missed all three of them so far. High post jumper, no good for Nell. And Abby Cole got position again. This time she tipped it out. Tell you what, Abby Cole's just simply outworking the Bulldogs, as she does most teams. She averages 12.7 rebounds per game. That is a higher mark than actually Ernst has, and Ernst has about, it's got to be at least 5 inches on Abby Cole. Dead in the backcourt. Able to shovel it to Moss is Bouchard, and Moss is now into the front court. Dribbled it, oh, Kira Shea, I think, tipped it. No, last off the Bulldogs. Wow, the Vikings' pressure is causing all sorts of issues for Pardeeville here early. It's a 12-0 run for the Vikings, and the Bulldogs stay in this 1-3-1/3-2, however you want to call it. Down the lane goes Nell, can't get it to go. Good defense by Ernst. Stolen in the backcourt by Lindsay Nell, tied up there. Viking basketball. Another hustle play by the Vikings as Lindsay Nell earns another possession for WLA. Underneath inbounds for them with 11:04 and the 8-point lead. Kuski will key it in for the Vikings. Cole cuts down the lane. Shea, dangerous pass there, tipped out, stays with the Vikes with another underneath inbounds pass, but this is from a much more difficult angle. Yeah, they should put Siri Kuski in the corner. There you go. They know what they're doing. So a difficult spot for the Vikes to inbound it, but goes straight out to Shea. Couple of screens there for Kuski. She was free, but it got tipped by Abby Cole. Here is Shea down to the corner with Audrey Schumacher. She's the first sub into the game. Lob to Abby Cole, top of the key, left wing three. Keyed up, and, oh, that looked good, but it was off. Missed everything there from Lindsay now. And the rebound down to Moss. Moss wants to run. Abby Cole, transition D. Able to pass it, or deflect it away from Ernst, excuse me. And the Vikings smartly pull it out with Kira Shea. Here's Abby Cole, left wing. Shot fake, kicks it out, top of the key, Lindsay Nell. Nell drives the lane. Bounce pass down to Shea. Skip pass to Cole. Vikings haven't gotten the three ball to go yet. Offensive rebound fought for by Lindsay Nell, and Ernst has it deflect out of bounds off of her last. So another hustle play for Lindsay Nell. Lindsay has done a great job on the boards. Sometimes that can be the missing part of her game is really hammering the glass, but she's done a nice job so far tonight. She gets, speaking of getting hammered, there goes Lindsay Nell to the free throw line. Her first opportunity from the charity stripe here tonight. Yeah, she'll go there for 2. And the foul on Brenneman, just her first. 4th team foul. First free throw for Lindsay is up and strong. Both Nell and Cole have shot the free throws extremely well down the stretch. Lindsay misses both here. That's been an anomaly for her so far the second half of the season. She's only shooting at 65%, but again, I wish I could find this. I should have found a stat sheet from early on in the season. About Christmas time, these girls were shooting under 50% from the free throw line. Another steal for the Vikings. Shea's got it again. Down the left side and scores. Shea's got 10. A dominant first half performance amongst the 6', 5'11" Bulldogs. The 5'4", well, she's listed 5'4". There's no way Kira Shea is taller than 5'2" or 5'3", and she's got 10 here early on. Bounce pass, high post, Cole looks, turns, gives it to Shea. Corner three on the way, looks good. This one's off, and rebound down to Abby Cole. Kicks it out to Kuski. Here's Lindsay Nell, drives the lane. Floater good. Nell's got 4, and it's a 16-0 Viking run. And a 16-4 lead. Moss crosses over. Gets it far side. Brenneman lobs underneath. And a good seal, good finish, Jesse Ernst. She's got all 6 for the Bulldogs, and that ends that 16-0 spurt for the Vikings. Can they continue to build this lead? Stands at 10 right now. Skip pass from Cole, tipped off of Lindsay Nell last. And there's the defense of Jesse Ernst, able to get a deflection on that pass from Cole intended for Lindsay Nell. That's a dangerous pass to try to throw over all of the height of the Bulldogs. But Cole thought she might be able to get it across. Brenneman's going to release over the head of Evelyn Davies. Brenneman has it in the front court. Picks up the dribble. Ball's dead. Gets it to Ernst. Ernst with the up and under move, and she's fouled by Abby Cole. Cole frustrated. She thought she had position, but she fouled her. I don't think she's complaining. I think she's frustrated that she fouled her because she knew she did all the hard part and then just put her arms down. Yeah, and that's what Coach Schaffnagel's saying too. So the first trip to the line for Ernst, she is a 62% free throw shooter, is Jessie Ernst, and she has gotten to the free throw line 164 times this season. And you would obviously understand that where she catches the basketball. She does not operate outside of about 8 feet, really, and she misses both of those free throws. So nothing really hurt for the Vikings other than the foul for Abby Cole. 8:44 to play first half. Good ball fake. Shea gets it to the high post with Cole. Bounces out to Nell. Nell down to Schumacher. High post this time, and Shea is probably not the player you want to get in the high post with that 5'2" frame. Moss gets it into the front court for the Bulldogs. Near side. This is Gunther. Looks far side. Brenneman's there. High post flashing was Bouchard, but they want to get it into Ernst instead. And the Vikings again getting caught. This time it should be Lindsay Nell who picked up that foul. It is. Lindsay reached in from behind, picked up her second foul. Siri Kuski, you'd expect her to check in now for Lindsay. And that is not a foul. The Vikes need Nell to pick up there. Just go straight up and down. Ernst is going to get hers to a certain extent, and that's where the Vikings got to be a little patient. Free throw good for Jessie Ernst. Kuski and Tyson return for the Vikings, replacing Schumacher and Nell. And Bronte Holberg back in. She's going to take out Aubrey Moss. And I'll tell you what, we'll see who the Vikings match Kira Shea up with now. Ernst misses that one, and the rebound is collected by Abby Cole. So a couple of trips to the line for Jessie Ernst. She goes 1 for 4. Skip pass from Kuski to Shea, gets it to Leah Tyson. Tyson shoots it, can't get it to go, tipped around, and Tyson able to get the steal in the backcourt, and a foul underneath, inbounds for the Vikings. More hustle plays in the backcourt, more hustle plays on the glass, and another steal. 16-7, 9-point Viking lead. Last 3 have been scored by Pardeeville. Underneath inbounds, Tyson gets it to Kuski. Top of the key, shot fake there for Abby Cole. Gets it to Evelyn Davies. Evelyn, the sophomore, bounces near side to the senior Shea. Down to the corner, this is Leah Tyson. Still this 2-3 or 1-3-1-ish looking defense for Pardeeville. Gets it to Cole. Cole shovels it down to Leah Tyson. She's blocked. Underneath it was Anna Brenneman. Weak side help, and she blocked it. Near side, this is Gunther. Holberg is going to be guarded by Shea. And Bronte Holberg, shot fake there, kicks it far side. Brenneman waiting for Bouchard to flash near side. Now she's going to drive it, and a good take. That time, Anna Brenneman's got the first point scored by someone not named Jessie Ernst. And the lead for the Vikings is down to 7. Vikings have had a couple of trips now in a row that have not looked up to the Vikings standard, that's for sure. Down to Leah Tyson. Leah gets it out to Evelyn Davies on the wing. Couple of dribbles for Evelyn. Ball fake there, gets it to Cole. Cole lobs it to Shea. Skip past Evelyn Davies, down to the corner with Kuski. Davies didn't even look at the hoop despite being wide open. And here goes Abby Cole. She gets blocked, but a foul. See who this goes against. Looked like Ernst got all ball, but they're going to get it on the bottom, I think, with Bronte Holberg. I'll get confirmation of that. Yeah, Holberg. It is Holberg's first. 2 for Bouchard and 2 for Brenneman so far. Abby Cole's perfect from the line and remains perfect with that free throw. 3 for 3. That stopped a 5-0 mini run for Pardeeville, and Abby Cole misses her first free throw on her 4th attempt. So she's 3 for 4 tonight. Abby's got 3 points. Down the lane goes Holberg. Might have got away with a travel, but she missed everything. Rebound down to Kuski. Vikes want to run, and Shea has it go through her hands. In the backcourt, Gunther looks to Holberg. Holberg crosses Shea over. Another cross for Bronte Holberg. And she looks far side. Brenneman. They're going to screen. Tell you what, every time underneath, they're going to screen away and try to get Ernst free. And that time Ernst does get free, rips through, kicks it back out. Ball movement is better this time from Pardeeville. Looking underneath, and the Vikings doubling once again. Abby Cole is straight up and down, and a foul to bail her out. Ooh, that is a bad one. That is the second foul on Abby Cole, and she did not earn that one. Vikes, she's straight up that time, and the referee, we'll see if he says she brought her hands down, because she absolutely did not. And that is a huge call. The Vikings do not have the most depth, as the first free throw is up and good. And I'll tell you what, a couple of bad pieces of officiating can really make things difficult for the Vikings, and there's one of them. 6 minutes and 6 seconds left in the first half. Coach Strafnagel not interested in having both Nell and Cole on the bench at the same time. And both free throws this time are good for Ernst. So a mini little run here that Pardeeville is on is going to force a timeout here for Coach Strafnagel. It's full. Lindsey Nell's checking back in. We'll take it with him. Back with more after this. Well, it's been a while since the Vikings have taken that much time out of a timeout to come back out of the floor, but 6-point lead so far for the Vikings. Trailed 4-0 early, and then we're out to a 16-4 lead, and ever since then it's a 7-1 run for the Bulldogs. Here's Abby Cole at the high post. Looking down to the corner, there's Shea. Shot fake there, Shea down the paint, and blocked that time by Ernst. Jesse Ernst erased it coming from the middle of the paint, middle of that zone. And that's what she's there for. Don't gotta play man-to-man. Don't gotta guard anyone one-on-one, and that's the beauty of a zone. And Ernst is down with the rebound here. Holberg up ahead. This is a take, and Bouchard to the hole. Got it. Viking fans and the bench wanted to travel as she took 3.5 steps. Coach Strafnagel gets an earful from the ref. Down to the corner, this is Shea. Couple of ball fakes. That's thrown away, almost stolen. Recollected by Nell. Shea with the shot fake there, caught in the corner. Bounce pass to Abby Cole. That's a beautiful pass from Shea, but Cole can't hit it. So the lead is 4 for the Vikings. Holberg, all of this happening with Moss on the bench. Now she's back into the game after the timeout. That's deflected away, and Leah Tyson has a steal. It's with Kuski, deflected out of bounds, stays with the Vikings. 5 minutes and 4 seconds left in this first half, and Coach Gunther's got to like the response from his team after the Vikings took control and had all the momentum in this one. Kuski's going to play point guard, get the ball into the high post with Cole, down to the corner with Nell. Nell surveys the floor there. Skip pass is dangerous, and oh man, the Vikings are throwing the ball away now. 4:49 to go first half, and Holberg will bring it back for the Bulldogs underneath to Ernst. She's caught too deep. Moss gets it back around. There is Bouchard, and Abby Cole can't do anything, but Ernst missed it. Rebound down to Abby Cole. Cole wants to go coast to coast, goes up with, oh, there's a lot of foul contact there and a late whistle, and the foul is called on the Bulldogs. Ooh, Anna Brenneman is who they whistled that on. I couldn't tell who that was underneath. It was Brenneman. That's her third. So Cole just missed her first free throw of the night, but makes that one. She's now 4 for 5 from the free throw line, and the Vikings lead at 18-13. 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Second free throw for Abby is good. Her free throw shooting, and Lindsay Nels, has been huge for the Vikings in the second half of the season when they were chasing down Laconia. Here's Bronte Holberg. Lobs the pass over to the far side. They're looking to try to get the ball underneath. That's Anna Schaller down there. Ernst is out of the ball game. Can the Bulldogs find a way to score without her on the floor? They have just 4 points from people not named Ernst tonight. And the rebound that time is long to Lindsay Nell. Nell crosses over, and it's stolen. Lindsay bit off a little more than she could chew that time, and the ball is shoveled straight to Holberg. Holberg, high post. That is Bouchard. Back out to Bronte Holberg. Vikings switch there. And Leah Tyson's into a passing lane once again as they were looking to get the ball to number 23, Emma Gens. Emma Gens and Anna Schaller into the game for the first time in this first half. Far side, Bouchard. And Haller's got it now. Underneath they go to Schaller, and Schaller gets position on Abby Cole. Anna Schaller scores. Schaller averages 2.6 points per game, so she's already on pace to double that. This is Lindsay Nell. Nice cut by Siri Kuski, and Siri finishes at the rim. Good cut by Kuski, and a beautiful finish down the center of the paint. Vikings lead back out to 6. Fighting through some screens goes Leah Tyson. Bouchard goes down the lane, stops, pops, offensive rebound, no, tipped out by Schaller, straight to Kira Shea. Shea bounces up ahead, and 4 straight points. Siri Kuski, 4-0 run for the Vikings, and the lead is back to 8, 23-15. How long will Coach Gunther keep out Jesse Ernst? That's kind of the question floating through my mind right now as the Vikings going on a little bit of a run here. Near side, Holberg. And that is tipped away by Shea, straight to Lindsay Nell. Nell looks up to Kira Shea. Shea, shot fake there. And a dangerous pass collected by Kuski. Long jumper, that's no good. Tipped around and collected by Bronte Holberg. I shouldn't call Leah Tyson's shot a jump shot because she doesn't jump. Down and caught there was Gens, able to get it out to Holberg, who is guarded by Leah Tyson. This is Gunther. High post Schaller. Back over far side, Gens underneath Schaller, trying to get position on Abby Cole, and Abby does a terrific job. Straight up and down and clears the board. Here is Shea, up ahead to Nell. Lindsay with a step through, no good. Offensive rebound straight to Nell, and she's hammered. Lindsay Nell back to the free throw line. Her second trip tonight, she's 0 for 2. Ernst will check back in after the first free throw. And when she's been out, it's been 6-2 advantage for the Vikings, I do believe, if my numbers are correct. First free throw for Lindsay, clanks off the left side and no good. 1 minute and 56 seconds left to play in the first half for the Vikings, who have an 8-point lead. Vikings are the number 3 seed in this regional, and Pardeeville is the 6th seed. Fourth free throw of the night is the one that is good for Lindsay Nell, so 1 for 4. She's got 5 points here in this first half. Here is Bouchard. Bulldogs able to break the press. Audrey Schumacher doing a nice job defensively here. Lobs it underneath to Ernst. She did not think she'd see Siri Kuski, and Siri forced the miss that time, helping from the weak side. And that was beautiful defense. Here is Audrey Schumacher. She wants to shoot it quickly. That misses. Rebound on the far side is taken by Gunther. Outlet pass to Jerome. Sophia Jerome into the game for the first time. Tell you what, these Bulldogs are kind of a hard group to to call. They go, I think they're about 10 deep here tonight so far. That's deflected out by Schumacher. Oh, they're going to say Viking basketball. I thought for sure that was last touched by Audrey Schumacher. Referees disagreed, going back the other way, 24-15. Vikings lead at its largest was 12 points. It currently sits at 9. Here's Abby Cole, spins once, down to the corner, Schumacher. Touch pass out to Siri Kuski, almost thrown away. Saved by Kira Shea. Bounce pass from Nell. Underneath to Abby Cole. Cole going against Ernst, and blocked by Jesse Ernst. Ernst has made her presence felt on both sides of the floor. That's her third block. She's got 9 points, as well as numerous rebounds. Here's Schaller, looks with the lob pass underneath, and Ernst blocked by Abby Cole. Cole just goes straight up and down, can't do anything about it. Ernst is the second player tonight into double figures. She's got 11. 33 seconds left. Will the Vikings hold for one? Here is Nell, skip pass to Schumacher. She's going to shoot. It's a long two, misses. Offensive rebound. Can Abby Cole get it? Schumacher's got it, and a timeout from Coach Strafnagel. He's got a 30-second TO, and the Vikings will have one more possession with 22.4 seconds left and a 7-point lead. Back with more after this. Stay with us. So 22.4 seconds left. Vikings lead at 24-17. This is probably actually a pace that would suit Pardeeville. The Vikings have just done such a nice job defensively, specifically on Ernst. 16 seconds left, here in this first half, and Lindsay Nell's going to cross over, get it to Kira Shea. Shea bounces near side, Audrey Schumacher. Audrey back to Shea. Skip pass over to Nell. Lindsay goes down the lane, fights through a couple of Bulldogs. Offensive rebound, Abby Cole. There's a battle for it underneath. And the half is over. The Vikings not able to get a clean enough look. I think Coach Strafnagel was wanting a whistle underneath there, but it was not forthcoming, and they let him play. I like that underneath. Let that play out underneath. That's what the refs did, and it ends up with the Vikings taking a 7-point lead to the halftime intermission. 24-17, the Vikings lead it. And other than a couple of Vikings that are in marginal foul trouble, 2 fouls apiece for both Abby Cole and Lindsay Nell, the Vikings are obviously going to be pleased with that first half. We'll take a timeout here, come back with some halftime statistics for you for the Vikings and the Bulldogs as this regional semifinal hits halftime. Back with more after this. Stay with us. Thanks for joining us tonight. 24-17 here at the intermission. Vikings lead the Pardeeville Bulldogs by 7. And I suppose if it's a Jesse Ernst versus Kira Shea battle, which I mean one is a forward center type of player and one is a point guard, so definitely not a clean comparison there, but if that is the case, the leading scorer for both of these teams, and Ernst averages 21, Shea averages 17. And so far, the supporting cast for Shea has been just a little bit better. 11 points in the first half for Jesse Ernst, which is right on track for that season average, or maybe a little bit north of the season average. But just 2 points from Josie Bouchard, 2 for Anna Brenneman, and 2 for Anna Schaller. So just 6 points from players not named Jesse Ernst for Pardeeville is the scoring for them, just 17 points. For WLA, 10 points for Kira Shea to lead it, but she's had 5 from Nell, 5 for Cole, and 4 from Siri Kuski. So for the Vikings, able to certainly get 14 points from players not named Shea, and just 6 points for Pardeeville from players that aren't their top scorer on the season. So it may be something to look into. Maybe I'm making too much of that, but certainly it's one of the reasons that the Vikings have carved out a 7-point lead. The other thing is the Vikings have turned up the defensive intensity on Pardeeville, understanding that they have a severe heighted disadvantage. And I think they've done a nice job to focus on that defensive side of the floor. And they've done a pretty good job on the defensive glass as well. That was always going to be something big to watch out for in this game as well, was does Pardeeville, are they able to get a lot of second chance points? And so far the Vikings have done a nice job there. Vikings haven't lost at home this year. I know I keep saying that, and everyone at home is knocking on wood and all that good stuff, but the Vikings, they are one half of basketball away from staying undefeated at home and setting up a potential matchup with the Randolph Rockets tomorrow night. We'll try to get you a halftime score from Randolph. They're taking on Manitowoc Lutheran in a 2-7 matchup elsewhere tonight. Try to get you a score from that. Otherwise, we'll be back in 4.5 minutes for second half action on WIAA TV. Stay with us. Well, I don't see a live stream for Manitowoc Lutheran at Randolph. And at some point, if you're out there and you love high school basketball in Wisconsin, if you love high school sports in Wisconsin, you got to download. And I know some people are just anti-app. And if you're anti-app, well, then, I can't help you. But if you are not anti-app, if you didn't just roll your eyes when I talked about people that are anti, I'm just kidding. If you're not anti-app, you got to download the ScoreStream app. And as long as you're an honest fan and you don't want to mislead people, which none of us want to do, right? We're doing this for the kids. Download ScoreStream, please. And from the stadium, you can update everyone around the state, around the region. Certainly use this for conference scores because a lot of the flyway schools use ScoreStream. It's easy. You log in, you set up an account, you go to the game you like, and you fill in a score as the game goes along. And I'm telling you, man, it is. When I discovered ScoreStream, it's like having the ESPN app for high school sports. And as long as you don't lie when you report scores, everyone benefits. So there you go. There's my public service announcement. That and there should be a restricted circle underneath the basketball hoop. And everyone that listens here regularly now rolled their eyes. Second half of action here on the way, but I say that there's a ScoreStream game set up for Randolph and Manitowoc Lutheran, but there's no score, so that doesn't really help us. 24-17, we're here with the second half of action between the Bulldogs and the Vikings. Here's near side. This is Brenneman. She has 3 fouls. Got to be careful a little bit. Bouchard has 2 fouls. That's really the only foul trouble, and Brenneman hits a long 2. She gets the jumper to go, and the Viking lead is 5. Vikings have 2 players with 2 fouls. Those are Lindsay Nell and Abby Cole, a couple of very important players for the Vikings. Nell catches at the high post. Jab steps a couple of times, kicks it to the corner. The Vikes have yet to hit a 3. That's no good. Offensive rebound tipped from Tyson, tipped off of Abby Cole. Here's Leah Tyson. And a left wing 3 this time. Abby Cole comes up short. Another offensive rebound. The 5-2, Kiera Shea, and she finishes. Shea gets the offensive board. She's got a dozen. Shea, that might have been a carry. Moss goes down the floor, and Shea gives the foul from behind. It's on the floor. So the Viking lead stays at 7. Shea was a little frustrated there. She thought Moss maybe got away with a carry that time in the backcourt with some good defense, but Moss just able to get by her, and Shea had no choice but to pick up her first foul. Smart play by Shea to give that instead of letting Moss drive the basket towards her teammates who each have 2 fouls underneath there. Here's a 3 this time from Brenneman. Banks, but no good. Came up short, and the rebound on the far side cleared with Lindsay Nell. Shea catches. Smart by her to slow things down. And Abby Cole's got to be careful. Had the ball. Oh, man, that was not triple threat position there from Abby Cole. And Shea gets run off a screen by Moss. She's down the lane. Oh, can't get it to go. That was a beautiful take by Moss. Moss able to poke it away from Nell. Lindsay still got it. Crosses over once, twice. Gives it to Leah Tyson. Tyson can't finish. And the rebound is cleared by Gunther. Chance there underneath for Leah Tyson. Came up a little bit strong. Moss behind the back. Down the lane she goes once again, taking on Kiera Shea. Shea picks up number 2. 2 in quick succession for Kiera Shea. And Moss is having a little bit more success. She's coming to the near side. And then that behind the back dribble to keep the ball away from the quick hands of Kiera Shea. We'll see if Shea adjusts to that as she so often does. Gunther hits the deck, no whistle. And the steal that time, trying to get it into Broussard, And, Coach Strafnagel, a couple of big claps. He thought Nell was fouled, no whistle. Here's Moss out into the front court this time. A couple of Viking fans were out of their seats that time as well. Ernst camps in the lane, misses the jump shot. Hook shot, no good. And the rebound down to Abby Cole. Cole with the hesitation dribble. Shovels it out to Lindsay Nell. Nell lobs it to Shea. Skip pass to Siri Kuski. High post Nell once again through the contact. Good strong take from Lindsay that time, but a little too strong. So the Vikings have not been efficient. They have had about 3 or 4 chances here in a row with layups, and they've missed them all. Here goes Ernst down the lane. Nice cut, Jessie Ernst. She's got 13. And the lead is back down to 5. Will the Vikings regret that 3-possession span where they left 6 points sitting on the floor. Here is Abby Cole in the short corner. Skip pass to the far side is Shea. Shea up with a floater, no good. Rebound, Abby Cole. Cole is blocked from behind by Ernst. Ernst gets another block. She has yet to pick up a foul. Here goes Moss, and there's the carry. Well, I'll tell you what, if that's a carry now, you missed it about 4 other times. I don't necessarily know if that was a carry. That's my point there. But the whistle was blown, and we're going back the other way. Here's Kiera Shea. Lobs it to the corner with Leah Tyson. Leah catches there. Ooh, almost drug the pivot foot there. Might have actually done so. Here's Abby Cole. Cole poked away by Ernst. Kicks it out. There's Leah Tyson in the corner. Skip pass over the head of Kiera Shea and out of bounds. Leah Tyson throws the ball into the student section, and the Vikings turn the ball over again. They have one bucket here in the second half, and it's Kiera Shea on the offensive rebound nonetheless. The Vikings have yet to score, make a basket on their first attempt of a possession. Bouchard trying to get the ball underneath. Here she is in the short corner, trying to lob it into Ernst, able to do so, poked away from Abby Cole. Ernst able to save it, and it's deflected by Lindsay Nell. Stays with the Bulldogs. Ugly basketball suits Pardeeville, that's for sure. And this is the kind of pace, this is the kind of game they wanted to be in. Just stick around. Don't let the Vikings go run away from you. That's what they're doing so far. Credit to the Bulldogs. Underneath to Ernst. Turns on Abby Cole. Leaves it short. Abby did a nice job that time to just clear Ernst away from the hoop. Here goes Shea. Like a lightning bolt to the hoop. Shea's got 14. And the lead's back out to 7. Behind the back, Moss. Down the lane she goes. Up with the right hand. And that's a response there from Aubrey Moss. Little out of control, but she controlled herself well underneath. Gunther hit the deck once again. No whistle. Here is Abby Cole. Nice shot fake there. Down the lane she goes. Blocked once again by Ernst. Abby gets the rebound. Goes back up. No look pass. Kicks it out. 3 on the way. Lindsay Nell comes up short. Offensive rebound. Abby Cole gets Ernst into the air, and still no whistle. The Viking fans and coaches cannot believe all of the contact on that one, and Ernst still has yet to pick up her first foul. Ernst gets it underneath and finishes there. Vikings have very much have a case that time. Ernst playing very physical, nothing wrong with that, but got to be able to see when it crosses the line. Here is Abby Cole. Cole catches middle of the paint, kicks it down to Leah Tyson. Out to Shea. Shea's pass is deflected, and Gunther gets the steal. She's into the open floor, going up against Shea. High off the glass, no good. Rebound is down from Lindsay Nell. That was terrific defense from Shea. What's new? Far side, Nell. Skip pass to Shea. Kiera Shea surveys, kicks it over to Nell. Bounce pass down underneath to Abby Cole. Cole turns, hook shot, good. Abby Cole's first field goal of the night comes here with about 6 minutes into the second half. And Abby is up to 7 points. All of her points coming from the free throw line before this. This is kicked out. Near side Brenneman. Underneath to Bouchard. And Bouchard through some contact, no good. Viking lead is 5. Shea. Pass fake. Oh, another dangerous pass. Kuski corrals. High post jumper for Abby Cole back to back. Cole's got 9 just like that. That's a big 4-point stretch for the Vikings. A good little spurt there. Full timeout for Pardeeville as Coach Gunther wants to make sure it doesn't go any further than the 7-point deficit. Full timeout. We're going to take it with them. Back with more after this. You're watching on WIAA TV. Coming out of the timeout, again, that was taken by Pardeeville. And, I didn't realize they had the music going still. We'll cut that out. Don't want to get taken down from YouTube once again. Moss looks far side. That's Gunther there. Vikings are in a zone here. We'll see how long they want to stay in the zone and if it's effective against Ernst. That is a steal for the Vikings early. Audrey Schumacher has it, kicks it to the corner. Shea has it there. Cues up a three, comes up short. Offensive rebound, Abby Cole. Can't get it to go. Cole's got another one. Tips it out to Nell. Lindsay's got it here. Crosses over. Back to the middle of the paint. Euro step through. Blocked by Ernst again. Vikings having no success going at Jessie Ernst. She is a wall defensively underneath and having a whale of a game. She got 15 on the offensive end as well. Here's Lindsay Nell. Miscommunication from Cole. Nell collects and a hook shot is good. Lindsay Nell with the improvisation. She's got 7. Viking lead back up to 9. Moss has it. 1-3-1 zone for the Vikings. Bouchard catches, gets it into Ernst. Ernst able to not finish as Lindsay Nell, or check that, Abby Cole had more good straight up and down defense. Nice backdoor cut by Nell. Nell goes down the paint. Oh, an offensive foul. Oh, boy. There is not enough contact in the world, but that is an offensive foul. Lindsay Nell is laughing heading down the other side of the floor. And Anna Brenneman sold the call, and that's a nice job by her. Again, you fix that if you have a restricted circle. That is the most dangerous play in high school basketball, and the WIAA doesn't want to address it. Here's a steal for the Vikings. Lindsay Nell does the nice job to steal the pass from Bouchard. Coming back the other way. Bounce pass from Siri Kuski to Kira Shea. Shea dribbles it back out. Good ball movement. Ends up with Shea in the corner from Cole. Shot fake there. A little runner. No good. And Moss able to get the rebound on the far side. That's a nice job by the guard to come down. And Moss is straight down the other side of the floor. A little out of control. Offensive foul. Well, I didn't think either of those should have been offensive fouls, but an eye for an eye, as they say. 34-25, 10-27 left in the ball game. Pardeeville didn't like that one. WLA still didn't like the one before that. And here's Siri Kuski. Both teams in a zone right now. That's a dangerous skip pass. Got its way to Shea, though. Shea's got it now, gets it back from Schumacher. Flashing to the high post is Abby Cole. Lobbed instead to Siri Kuski. Kuski cuts through. Lindsay Nell follows her on the dribble drive and the floater. Lindsay Nell with another floater. She's got 4 straight. After the Vikings, they had 4 straight from Shea to start the half, then 4 straight from Abby Cole, now 4 straight from Lindsay Nell. Their big 3 has 12 points. Here's an offensive rebound from Jessie Ernst on the near side, and she finishes. She's all the way up to 17 points here tonight. Back within 10 points. It's a 9-point Viking lead, 36-27. Shot fake there from Nell. Down the lane. She goes, cleared out by Abby Cole. I don't know if that was a legal clear out, but Abby Cole got Ernst far enough away from the hoop that she couldn't block Lindsay Nell. Lob down here to Brenneman. She looks to Bouchard. Bouchard catches. Short jumper. No good. Offensive rebound. Ernst falling away. Can't get it to go. Rebound down from Abby Cole. Clears the possession for the Vikings. She's been a beast there all season and again tonight for WLA. Shot fake here. Lindsay Nell lobs it into Abby Cole. Cole down the lane to the hoop. On the right side, Abby Cole gets it to go. The Vikings lead is at its largest tonight. It's 13, 40-27. Lobbed again down to Brenneman. They're looking into Ernst. Ernst spins against Abby Cole and able to stop that run for the time being as she's got 19 points. And an inadvertent whistle. Referees thought there was a timeout called. Instead, they're just going to stop this. Coach Gunther was just yelling some instructions to his defense. I'll tell you what, I mean, you look at it, it's like a 1-2-1-1 zone. It really isn't a 1-3-1 because Ernst does not often get to the free throw line in this zone. Another dangerous pass gets it to Shea. Shea back from Schumacher. Skip passes here to Kuski. She gets it. Kicks it out to the left wing. That's Lindsay Nell. Down underneath, Abby Cole. Cole to the corner. Tipped out. Abby Cole last. Yep, that's Bulldog basketball. Viking fans don't like it, but that is absolutely spot on the right call, at least the way I saw it. And it's going back the other way. That was a nice job. Good positioning by the official and saw the right thing. Far side, oh, that's an over and back call. And Schaller just didn't quite have her bearings about where she was on the basketball floor and turned that ball over. Each team has kind of been guilty of gifting free possessions to the other. And that was another case of that. Some sloppy basketball, but there's also been some really good basketball. Abby Cole's got to get out of the paint here. Ernst deflects it from her. Shea looks near side. Kuski gets it to the corner with Lindsay Nell. Nell dribbles back out to the wing. Out to Kuski. Bounce back down to Nell. She's got Cole. That's a dangerous pass. Gets it to her. Skip pass down to the corner. Oh, I thought she'd give that to Kira Shea, who was wide open, queued up, and ready to go from the wing for three. Vikings have still yet to hit a three here tonight. They shoot the ball pretty well from three, at least Shea and Nell do. They're both 35 and 40% free throw or three-point shooters respectively, but haven't been able to get one to fall tonight. Here's Shea trying another one. That one comes up short. Offensive rebound, Siri Kuski, blocked again by Ernst. Kicked it out. Here's Shea. Bounce back to Kuski, out to the left wing. Shot fake there from Nell. Kicks it out to Kira Shea, and more good patience here from the Vikings. Oh, boy. Don't rush it. There is no shot clock. That was my favorite quote from a team that rushed the basketball. Here goes Nell. Can't get it to go. Blocked by Ernst once again. She's been awesome defensively. Outlet pass to Hulberg. We'll get back to that in a second. That's one of my favorite quotes I ever heard. As here's Bronte Hulberg. Shovels it to Gunther. Underneath, high post. Kicked out. Here's Schaller for three. Missed it deep. Didn't hit anything. Here is Lindsay Nell in transition down the lane. She was out of control that time. Oh, and a block gets called this time as Gunther hit the deck. And Lindsay Nell, that would have been 4 on her. And Viking hearts were in the throat there. That would have been 4 on Lindsay. Here is Lindsay Nell down the lane, and the floater is good. That's a big call, and the Vikings pay it off. 42-29. Here comes Hulberg. Dribbled it off her knee. Goes straight out to Gunther. Little fortune there. Hulberg's got it back. Kicks it to the corner. This is Bouchard, and she walked. Drug the pivot foot before she was able to get the ball into Jesse Ernst, and it'll be Viking basketball. Vikings got to be patient. I was going to say before, once heard a high school basketball coach when I was doing radio down in Oklahoma. He said his team rushed it. They had about a 10, 12-point lead, just like this. His team rushed a possession and pulled his point guard off, and he said, how much time was on the shot clock when we shot it? Well, they don't have shot clock in Oklahoma. Here's the turnover from the Vikings as Lindsay Nell whipped that one past the outstretched arms of Audrey Schumacher. And that's been in the news as well. No shot clock in Oklahoma, but that's a whole different conversation. And his point was, there's no need to rush. Let's get a good shot. We don't need to rush things. We're up by a dozen points, and that's how he phrased it. I thought that was such a clever way to phrase that. How much time was on the shot clock when we shot the basketball? Good way to put it. 6:01 to play. By the way, shot clock should also be in high school basketball as long as I'm on my soapbox. Here near side, this is Hulberg. Gets to about 15, 18 feet. Missed that one short and out of bounds. Ernst almost able to corral that, but couldn't quite get a hand on it. Moss comes back in. She replaces Bronte Hulberg. And with 5:50 left, Coach Schroffnagel is going to take a timeout. Will be kind of interesting to see. I think he took a full timeout here, maybe just a 30. Just a 30-second timeout for Coach Schroffnagel. Be interesting to see what he comes out if he gets away from that zone. He's had success with it here. Does he stay in it, or does he get back to his bread and butter, which he'll always tell you, man-to-man basketball. If you can't play that, you can only go so far, and see if he comes back to that or if he stays in this 1-3-1 zone that has served him so well here in the second half. Hey, I kind of had this situation a week ago when they were playing at St. Mary's Springs. The 1-3-1 was working for the Vikings, but even with a lot of success there, they went back to man-to-man. I think Coach Schaffnagel just knows you only can play that for so long before a team figures you out. And we'll see what the plan is for the Vikings as they go back the other way. So Vikings going to spread things out. Oh, man. Maybe Coach Schaffnagel heard my comment about the shot clock. Here's Audrey Schumacher to the hoop. Nice backdoor cut. Patience, but if you get a seam, take it. And Audrey Schumacher did there. Maybe it was just to be patient offensively. Vikings going to stay in the zone defensively. Ernst gets another. She's over the 20-point mark. Check that. Yeah, she's over the 20-point mark. She's got 21, at least by my count, and now they updated the scoreboard. Handoff here from Shea to Abby Cole, who gives it to Kuski. Series got it. Backdoor cut from Kira Shea. Here's Cole. Another backdoor cut. Shea. She's at the hoop, and she finished. Kira Shea underneath the basket. Almost looked like she didn't give herself an angle. She did. She's got 16. 4:44 to play. High post. Tipped around by Shea. Stolen by Nell. She leads the team in steals this season. Here's Shea in the corner and through the hands of Kira Shea. And that's kind of one where, what did we just talk about here? Patience if we don't got something, be patient. And the Vikings turn it over. 4:34. 15-point lead for the Vikings. Matches their largest of the night. Led by 16 points from Kira Shea, 13 from Lindsay Nell, and 11 from Abby Cole. Bounce pass underneath to Bouchard. And she finishes. That's a nice job by Josie Bouchard, who averages 8.2 points per game. She's got 4 here tonight. The Vikings have done a nice job on her. She's also dealt with some minor foul trouble. She was out for, 5-6 minutes in that first half when she picked up 2 early fouls. But since then, hasn't picked up any more than the 2 fouls. So she's just fine and hasn't really gotten in a rhythm tonight, but she's got 4. So 4:21 to play. Timeout there from Pardeeville. I would assume that was a timeout from Coach Gunther to see if they change what they're doing defensively, I would assume. You just saw the Vikings are going to try to just eat some time off the clock and get a good look if they can. Are you going to dial up the pressure? Do we see a Pardeeville press? We'll see coming out of this timeout. Got the length to be able to potentially bother the Vikings in a press. But no, they're going to retreat. I thought for a second there it looked like Ernst maybe was turning around. Got a great on-ball defender there for a press. But no, they're just going to stay in the zone, extend it out a little bit more, and try to trap out of it. Here is Shea. Gets it to Lindsay Nell for 11. And the Viking fans are probably saying this isn't ticking quick enough, and the Pardeeville fans are saying, who turned on the speed on the clock? Here is Lindsay Nell. Lobs it to the corner with Siri Kuski. Kuski gets it to the high post Shea. Far side Schumacher. Audrey doesn't even look at the basket. Gets it back to the high post on a skip pass to Lindsay Nell. Back from Kuski to Lindsay Nell. Lindsay bounces it far side Shea, who fakes it to Schumacher. Back to Nell. Near side with Kuski. Skip pass to Shea. Shot fake there. Kira Shea. Oh, that's good patience. Gets it down to Schumacher. Audrey with a couple of ball fakes. High post with Abby Cole. Vikings get it back out. Nell's got it between the circles. Fires it over to Shea. 3:25. The Vikings have taken a minute off the clock here. High post flashing is Shea. Bounce pass down to Schumacher. Audrey back out to Kiera. Oh, this is beautiful from the Vikings. And a foul. That time from Raylan Gunther. 3:16 to play in the ball game. The Vikings have a 13-point lead over the 6-seeded Pardeeville Bulldogs. The Vikings are a 3-seed. Now a matched-up man-to-man being played by, at least that's what it looks like. Yep, man-to-man being played by Pardeeville. Can the Vikings adjust to that? Here is Abby Cole being guarded by Ernst, who still has yet to pick up her first foul. Here's Lindsay Nell. Nell gets it from Cole. Far side, Shea, top of the key, between the circles. Crosses over, down the lane, floater, up and good! Kira Shea, 18 points for the Vikings, and the lead is back out to 15. Bump there from Shea, picks up her third foul. As Moss drove the lane, initiated that's a smart play from Aubrey Moss, getting in the middle of the paint. Tell you what, that's a good adjustment that was made at the halftime intermission from Coach Gunther, was to be more aggressive with Moss against Shea, try to see if they could maybe pick up some fouls on Kira Shea, and it's worked. Down underneath, it's Ernst. 2:33 to play. Skip pass over here to Bouchard, and that comes up just short. Nice rebound, Siri Kuski skying for it on the near side, and Kira's going to slow it down once again. Bounce it near side, Siri Kuski. Lindsay's got it in the front court. Lindsay now crosses over. The Vikings able to just bleed clock here, and there's only 3 team fouls for Pardeeville, so they got to, not only do they got to foul, they got to pick up a good chunk of fouls here in a short period of time. Pardeeville switched there. We'll see if they double Abby Cole, and a foul picked up there once again from Raylan Gunther. Gunther's got 3 fouls now, and that's just the 4th team foul. If I am Coach Schroffnagel, I am sprinting Kira Shea towards the defensive basket. And good call. Here goes Kira Shea. Bounce pass cutting to the hoop. Oh, and Siri Kuski passes up the layup to go back outside to Abby Cole. Foul there by Moss. That's a smart play from Siri Kuski. She could have turned and laid the ball in instead. Patience, patience, patience. Kick the basketball out. 15-point Viking lead. Lobbed in from Shea to Kuski, or I should say lobbed back from Shea to Kuski. And Lindsay now, Bouchard was trying to give up the foul there, and now the whistle goes. 1:44 to play. The Vikings have probably taken north of 1:40 off the clock here in the last 4 minutes or so on the offensive side. Oh, and Shea caught that in the front court. That was over and back, and a foul picked up. I think that was over and back. I think they missed that. Foul picked up by Raylan Gunther. Coach Gunther was not animated about that, but a couple of fans over on Pardeeville's side was, and they saw exactly what I saw. First free throw here of the second half is for Kira Shea, and she doesn't get it to go. 0 for 1, her first trip of the night. Bouchard's got it into the front court. Kicks it back out. Moss. Pardeeville's got to go quick. Shovels it to the corner and off the hands of Brenneman. And back over to the Vikings goes the basketball. $1:31 to play. Moss is in the backcourt. She's got to pick up a quick one and does so with $1:30 left. And Shea will go back to the free throw line, 8th team foul. Look, I don't know if it impacts the game at all. 4th team foul on or 4th personal on Moss, by the way. But I did think Shea caught that in the front court and just ran into the backcourt. First front end of this free throw is good. We won't belabor the point anymore. But the Vikings in control of this WIAA Division IV Regional Semifinal. That free throw is good. And they get the substitutes in. And Jesse Ernst is going to come off the floor, as will Brenneman, a couple of seniors for these Bulldogs. And let me be the first to say that Jesse Ernst should be incredibly proud of her performance here tonight. She finished with 21 points. She averages 20.8 points per game, wouldn't you know it? She finishes with 21 points here tonight. And just a tremendous hoops player that we have in this division in Wisconsin. And she is excellent. And I know the Vikings are likely going to see another good post player tomorrow in Jory Bawalda, but my goodness, Jesse Ernst, one of the better ones the Vikings have seen over the course of the season, and they have played some good teams. So tip of the cap to her on a fantastic high school career. The 6'1" senior has checked out of the game for the last time, and she's got a lot to be proud of, and so does everyone, all the Bulldog fans out there. And now Josie Bouchard as well get an opportunity to get a standing ovation. Evelyn Davies makes the front end of her free throw. And Raylan Gunther as well. Second free throw good for Evelyn Davies as well. Almost hit the roof with that one. And now Schaller going to get her standing ovation as well. I'll tell you what, the Vikings, they knew they had to take this game seriously. A 6 seed that comes into a game 19-6. And 2 of their losses are to Randolph. And, this is such a quality team, is Pardeeville. Down the lane goes Moss. Can't get it to go. But she'll shoot 2 on an aggressive take to the hoop. Jenna Petrowitz gets her name in the scorebook for the first time this year. Sophomore, check that the freshman up for the postseason run for the Vikings. And she picks up the foul to get into the scorebook. Aubrey Moss hits the front end of the free throw. But for the Vikings, their seniors see their seasons and careers continue, and say likely playing Randolph tomorrow. We'll get confirmation of that hopefully by the time we get out of here afterwards. Also going to try to talk to a couple of the players if we can. See if I got my media request in early enough, and we'll let you hear them here in the post-game, the unofficial post-game show that has no sponsors, because we don't have sponsors here on WIAA TV. That's what happens when you're a nonprofit. 52-35, down the lane goes Moss to the hoop, and a blocking foul on the floor from Evelyn Davies. It'll be an underneath inbounds pass for Pardeeville on what is probably the last possession of the ball game. And Bronte Holberg going to come back into the game. And she will replace Maya Noyans, who is the final senior to get her standing ovation here tonight. That's tipped straight to Moss, down the lane, finished. Aubrey Moss is going to finish tonight with 6 points unless she gets a steal here in the backcourt. Holberg, Evelyn Davies goes by her. Here's Jenna Petrovitz, catches in the corner. And that's batted away. We'll see if Anna Trewin's able to get the basketball. Moss gets the steal up ahead to Holberg. Holberg able to get it to go. Bronte Holberg with a pair. And Evelyn Davies just trying to dribble this thing out. Last 5 seconds or so. Down to Petrowitz. Petrowitz being hounded by a couple of Pardeeville Bulldogs. There's the final horn, and the Vikings, via a 13-point WIAA Division IV Regional Semifinal, move on to play for a regional championship coming up tomorrow night, likely at Randolph. Again, we'll try to get you confirmation of that. Pardeeville finishes their season. They were the second-place team in the Trailways West. Finished their season 19-7. That is a heck of a resume for a 6 seed. Just unfortunate that this is the part of the state that they're from, really. There's a lot of teams that could say that in this regional, this sectional here so far this season. Vikings move to 22-3. Their winning streak now sits at 9 games. The Vikings able to scrap it out here tonight. Defense is where it started. They gave up just 39 points. 17 in that first half was kind of the difference for the Vikings, but able to carve out the 13-point lead, or the 13-point win. Just got confirmation that we will have a couple of players join us here in the second half, so if you're interested at all in that, we will see who the powers that be send up here. Maybe Kiera Shea. She finished with 16 points. Check that. Kiera, 2, 4, 6, 8. Kiera finished with 20, right on the head for the Vikings. Lindsay Nell get her final scoring. She had 5 in the first half, added 8 in the second, finished with 13 points, 4 for Siri Kuski, 2 for Evelyn Davies, and Abby Cole had 3 buckets in the second half to finish with 11. Final scoring for the Bulldogs: 21 for Jesse Ernst, 4 for Josie Bouchard, 2 for Bronte Holberg, 4 for Anna Brenneman, 2 Anna Schaller, and 6 points for Aubrey Moss. That's for the Bulldogs. That adds up to their 39 points. Vikings scored 52 and move on here in the regional round. Let me look up and see if I can't find an update there from Randolph and see what the Rockets were able to do against Manitowoc Lutheran. Manti Lutheran able to knock off New Holstein in a 7-10 matchup that went down to the buzzer. Manti Lutheran had to hit a 3-ball at the buzzer to knock off Grace Schizzle and company, the talented crew from New Holstein. And that's what set them up with a date with Randolph here tonight. Still nothing reported from that ball game happening down in Randolph, but I would assume that'll be tomorrow. Now, I will tell you this for all of the Viking fans that are waiting in eager anticipation for the Viking players to come out. If you can't make it to that game, I will be along with RadioPlusInfo.com. Radio Plus Info, there you just go onto YouTube, search Radio Plus Info, and I'll be along with the great crew over with Radio Plus, and we'll be doing that game between the Rockets and the Vikings coming up tomorrow night. So if you don't got any Saturday night plans, I say get to Randolph. Try to make it as loud as you possibly can on the if you can get down there, make it as close to a neutral atmosphere as possible. I'd assume that's going to be a very tough place to play for the Vikings tomorrow. But if you can't, Radio Plus Info is the place to go. Their YouTube channel will be where I'll be. And if that doesn't happen, I'll be right here, up in the broadcaster's booth here on WLA TV. So there you go. Either way, you can catch tomorrow's action on YouTube. So we're just waiting now for Coach Raffnagel to finish chatting with his girls, and we'll send a couple of his star players up here to chat with us. So stick around if you are waiting for that, and we'll have that momentarily. Once again, scoring for the Vikings: 2 for Evelyn Davies, 4 for Siri Kuski, 11 for Abby Cole, 13 for Lindsay Nell, and 20 for Kira Shea. Last time the Vikings won a regional, that's what they'll be trying to do tomorrow, was a couple years ago. I saw Elena Supernan in the stand over on the far side. I was trying to twist Elena's arm to be my color commentator. Now, who can blame her? No one wants to spend. Who would want to spend 2 hours or an hour and a half next to me, listening to me blabber on? But tried to strong arm her into joining us tonight, but that's all right. She's just here to enjoy the ride for the Vikings. But her senior year, last time the Vikings able to win a regional championship, they did so here at WLA against St. Mary Springs. Of course, lost in the sectional semifinal round at Oostburg that season. And the Vikings trying to make it to a sectional round again this year, and maybe set up a rubber match with Laconia if they're able to go to Randolph and knock off the Rockets tomorrow night. Hang around with us. I promise we'll get you a couple of Vikings to chat with here in just a second. I think we have Siri Kuski and Siri and Lindsay Nell are gonna come up and join us, so stick around. I promised you, I wasn't lying to you. They're on their way up to chat with us post-game. 52-39, the final score. 4 points for Siri Kuski, 13 for Lindsay Nell. And we'll get them set up. Girls, congratulations. I don't know who wants to hold. You guys are probably sick of doing this stuff now. You were supposed to say no. I'm just kidding. 52-39. You guys knew this was going to be a tough game tonight, especially size-wise, Lindsay, inside. What was the difference for you guys tonight? Because, first 2 possessions, it was like, oh, man, this might be a long night. Ernst catches underneath block, turns, throws it in, throws it in, 4-0. And then you guys went on a 16-0 run. What was the difference for you guys?
We knew that
We had to stay out of foul trouble and just play good defense on their big girls. But we also knew that we could outrun them. So that's what we kind of focused on. We focused on playing defense and then turning that into offense.
How big was that series defensively that you guys were able to, take their guards and really shut them down tonight? 21 points for Ernst, who you guys knew was going to be kind of the big scorer tonight, but you really didn't let that next scorer down able to get any. What was kind of your thoughts on that defensively?
I think we improved throughout the game. At first, it was kind of weird guarding a girl who's 3 inches taller than us, or plus for Abby and Lindsay, but we got better at it, and I think it really helped our defense, which created our offense then.
Talk about the offense. You guys, it's been a long time since you guys haven't hit a 3, and either one of you can, maybe both of you can comment on this, but you guys didn't hit a 3 tonight. Is it a little does it build some confidence knowing that you don't have to necessarily make 3s to win games?
Oh yeah, it builds confidence, and it was really weird thinking that our shots weren't going up outside, and then we couldn't just, or Lindsay or Abby and Kira couldn't just easily drive it right in like they do, but we adapted to it and learned that we had to shoot a little bit further out so 21 couldn't block us.
Yeah, I think she had about 11 blocks. Abby or Lindsay, talk a little bit about the offensive, maybe quote-unquote struggles, but you still scored 52.
Yeah, we just had to adjust. We weren't used to playing against that big of players, so it was just we had to know what we can do and couldn't do, and it took us a while, but I think we got it, and even if it wasn't shooting 3s, hopefully we're just saving it for tomorrow.
There you go. For both of you, Siri, you were here for 2 years ago. You won the regional. Last year you guys came up just short at Springs. What does it mean to be back in a regional championship game?
It feels really great, and we can pull it off. We can do it tomorrow at Randolph, and I really hope we do, because that would just it's a really great feeling when you win a regional championship, and then you can continue on in the playoffs instead of ending it right then there.
Lindsay?
Yeah, it's just a really good experience that not a lot of people get to have. So just to be here with my team is just really cool, and we're really excited for that opportunity tomorrow night.
Girls, go get them. Good luck, and good job tonight. Thank you. There you go. That's Siri Kuski and Lindsay Nell joining us here post-game on WLA TV. Jordan King saying so long. Thanks for joining us. Tomorrow night, if you would like to, if it's down at Randolph, you guys can check that. I just looked at the score center. No score being reported yet for Randolph and Manitowoc Lutheran. So keep your eye on that. If it's WLA at Randolph, I would assume that's going to be the game. If that turns out to be the case, you can catch me on Radio Plus Info. Go to youtube.com, search Radio Plus Info, and you will have that stream tomorrow night. I'll be along with you from Randolph, Wisconsin. Looking forward to being down there. If not, you can join us right here, WLA TV. Jordan King saying so long, good night. Vikings win it 52-39. They win the regional semifinal and will play for a regional title tomorrow night. Good night.